This is Red, White, and Bluegrass.
The Senate's highest priority bill was passed this week. Senate Bill 1 retreads some familiar ground. The bill is aimed at large school systems, particularly Jefferson counties, and centralizing more power with the superintendent. It's the same proposal that passed the Senate in 2022 and has since faced constitutionality questions, being ruled by the state Supreme Court to be in line with law in 2024 and later unconstitutional in 2025 following a change in the court's justices.
Certainly with any organization this size, it's vitally important to have a decision maker on the front line overseeing day-to-day operations and not being hamstrung by too many cooks in the kitchen. That's what we're doing with Senate Bill 1.
Opponents argue the bill undermines the authority of elected members of the Board of Education. So, Senator Mills, I'll start the conversation with you. As mentioned in the debate and in the committee discussion, the circumstances that prompted this bill in 22 are not the same as they were today. There's different leadership at the helm, and that same superintendent said he didn't necessarily support this bill. So why is it considered the highest priority this year?
Well, I think, first of all, education is our highest priority in the legislature. We spend a lot of money in our budget. Jefferson County is our largest school system. We've got to get it right. And we have education leaders within our caucus that have looked at this situation, and they feel like that more control, more power in the superintendent's position, it would be a positive thing moving forward. It would be able to be, we'd be able to react quicker to circumstances and not have to wait for meeting after meeting after meeting. So that's what Senate Bill 1 is about. Senate Bill 1 also kind of readdresses some of the issues that the Supreme Court talked to us about, and there's some whereases in there that gives us more reason why we're doing Senate Bill 1.
Yeah, I believe y'all listed 42 reasons in the
Yes,
bill
sir.
for why y'all want to treat this district different.
Absolutely.
A district that is yours, Senator Neal. You had a lot of thoughts on this particular bill and spoke about that on the floor. You mentioned, you acknowledge there's some performance issues as well that you're not too happy with. So what are some alternatives that you would suggest opposed to this piece of legislation?
Well, let me just say it this way. This piece of legislation will not do it. The fact of the matter is that there's no research anywhere, there's no experiment anywhere that suggests by concentrating power and eliminating people's input, in other words, more accountability, they're talking about less accountability is going to get a result that they're talking about. There's nothing that shows that. In fact, if you look at large districts around the country, the ones that are performing well, as large or larger than Jefferson County, are doing well. What they really need to do, and I argued this on the floor, is that we have basically underfunded the system. And this is a challenging district, obviously. It's the largest district in Kentucky. And the fact of the matter is it's unique in that sense. But then again, this is not going to be the solution to that. What we really need here is to give this superintendent, the new guy, I'm very impressed with this man that's come in, Dr. Yearwood, and the great relationship he has with this board. And this board and he are already working together, and they are communicating ways that I think are calculated to get the results we want. This will not do it. It's not necessary. In fact, they're putting less input instead of more input with a cooperative relationship with a very, very skilled administrator in Dr. Yearwood. So I think it's unnecessary, and I'm concerned about what it won't do for us as opposed to what they say it will do for us.
Any response you'd like to make to that, Senator?
Well, just, as far as funding goes, I've been in the legislature almost 10 years. We continually fund education in a proper manner, in an escalating manner. We're spending, I believe, in Jefferson County almost $18,000 per student in spending. So it's more than just spending. And, in Henderson County, where I'm from, in Northwest Kentucky, we've been putting a lot of emphasis on leadership. Principal, superintendent leadership, sending them to training, because as the leader goes, so goes the school. So I think that's what we're kind of looking at is, look, let's pour in, let's give some more authority to the superintendent. Let's see if this works.
The issues, did you have a response to that?
Yes, of course.
Go ahead.
As I pointed out, the authority is in the superintendent as we speak. And the fact of the matter is that $18,000 goes away this way. First of all, a great portion of that was because of COVID, and we got the federal money that came in. That's gone. That's gone, just left. And it's not, but those problems that were created by COVID are going to follow those students all the way through the system. There will be no funding on that side. But not only that, you have a situation in Jefferson County where it's very important for us to deal with teacher shortages, for instance. We have to make sure that we pay them on a certain level. And this number that we're dealing with in the funding now does not factor in inflation. It's nice to say we put these dollars in, and here's, we're doing all that we can do for you. But the fact of the matter is, it does not factor in inflation, so that compromises what that argument's about. And then on top of that, there's, I
we
know
just
you
got
want
a
to get
couple
in there.
seconds.
Okay, all right, well, go ahead. My point is that I don't think this bill would do it. I think we got the people in place. We need to support what they do in the district and not mess with the structural changes.
All right, thank you so much for the insight there, and looking forward to continued debate around this issue as it moves through the process and maybe looked at by our courts. We will have to leave it right there, and we still have more ahead this morning.